Hey, are you still waiting for a new opportunity in the crypto market? But wait, wasn't the PulseChain supposed to release right around now? Wasn't it supposed to be the biggest airdrop after the Hex coin, predicting a 1000x return? Well, actually, yes and no. PulseChain still remains the center of attention even after a delay this long, with Richard Hart standing headstrong in the eye of the storm, perfecting the blockchain, reducing gas prices, and most importantly, outdoing his previous project, the Hex coin. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're refocusing ourselves on PulseChain, which is in the later stages of its launch. PulseChain and Hex. Richard Hart, the man behind Hexcoin on the Ethereum blockchain, is ready to deliver his magic again with his hard fork of the Ethereum blockchain, the PulseChain. With 2022 nearing its end, crypto enthusiasts are all ready to invest in the new coin and blockchain with the promised low gas price as opposed to the Ethereum network. In his previous project, the Hex coin, Richard made headlines in the crypto world after a return of more than 1000x over the years. Currently, only 10% of Hex coin are staked, with a predicted 40% APY. This token was released as an ERC20 on the Ethereum blockchain on December 2nd, 2019. Initially, it was distributed to BTC holders at the rate of 10,000 Hex per 1 BTC. But before moving any further into the video, let me introduce to PulseChain, the future of cryptocurrency and decentralized finance, an innovative protocol where you can take advantage of an NFT marketplace, staking pool, DEX, and a stablecoin pegged to gold ounces. It solves the problem of high cost of staking in certain blockchain networks. Its DEX is setting new standards for low commission fees, which is 0.28% on every trade. And liquidity providers earn up to 97.5% of each trade commission. And our native token pool sees daily buy and burn of up to 31.5% from each commission earned on the DEX. Its unique Pathfinder feature helps you find the best price for your trades by breaking them down into multiple pairs and taking advantage of the gap between ratios on the PulseX market. And our goal is a game changer. It's the world's first decentralized cryptocurrency pegged to the gold ounce and can be borrowed by using other cryptocurrencies as collateral. Pool, our native token, has multiple utilities within our protocol. So now is the time to get in on the ground floor of PulseChain. And its ICO is your chance to be a part of this exciting new project and watch your investment grow. Now coming back on track and expanding a bit more on the PulseChain, or PLS, it is basically a hard fork of the Ethereum network. What that implies is that PulseChain is another version of the Ethereum blockchain, just with a bit of change or, in some cases, an improvement over its predecessor. This also means that all the tokens and wallet data present in the Ethereum blockchain will also exist in the PulseChain. A user's account balance in Link and USDC in Ethereum will be reflected as P-Link and PUSDC on the PulseChain. Most people would also argue over the validity of the PulseChain copies of currencies that are already present in their Ethereum blockchain wallets, making the P currencies a bit more volatile. Services like Circle and Coinbase would provide you with some certain value of the USDC and Link, but it would be extremely shocking if that is the case with PUSDC and P-Link. Another problem that PulseChain promised to tackle was centralization, but for the time being, it looks like the most centralized project in the long list of upcoming projects is the crypto world. This happened nearly at the end of the Sacrifce period, when an origin address of Hex, allegedly Robert, sacrificed Hex worth billions of dollars, thus diverting over 90% ownership to the anonymous person and centralizing the PulseChain even more. One thing that PulseChain would have improved on the Ethereum blockchain is speed. The sheer speed of transactions, as compared to its predecessor without sacrificing any layer of security, is a feature that users are looking forward to. This is made feasible due to the trusted high-performance nodes that validate each transaction backed by PLS stakers, which vote in confidence with their own coins, replacing the proof-of-work model fees up to the computing powers for validators to encrypt transactions. People expecting a 1000x return from the PulseChain should probably step down from their horses, as the starting marketing cap of the Hex coin was too low as compared to the predicted price of the PulseChain token. People who initially invested in the Hex coin gambled on it, rising over half a decade, which could even elongate to a decade and a half. This will not be the case with respect to the PulseChain token price, as it is predicted to begin at a higher market capitalization as compared to its predecessor. The people investing in the currency will not be willing to gamble a large sum of money just to lose their money at the end of the day. To the eyes of a layman, PulseChain is no good than the other cryptocurrencies, which have taken a 95% dump in the past few years, excluding the mainstream ones like BTC and ETH. Famous finance celebrities backing these volatile tokens sometimes makes for a compelling argument for the investor to stake their money long-term, even under a huge chance of the currency never giving a single penny in return. But the compelling argument that PulseChain makes is the fact that it was never meant to replace Ethereum blockchain or even compete with ETH2, but rather reduce the burden on the blockchain so that the issue of bloated gas prices and ever-increasing burden of POWs can be resolved. Can PulseChain really live up to the hype? Will it really create new millionaires? We'll see. But a huge aspect of investing in a business is investing in the person behind the business. So let's take a look at the boss man himself, Richard Hart. Richard Hart, to be honest, is not famous, but rather infamous due to his exploits and controversial projects, including but not limited to the PulseChain. Richard needs no introduction to the crypto nerds, and in some people's words, the worth of a man is measured by his words and actions. Richard displayed a very abrasive personality right when he came to the limelight as a huge Bitcoin enthusiast. He ultimately left his ideals about other crypto behind, working on his own crypto, which we all know as Hex. Richard Hart regularly flaunts his knowledge of crypto in podcasts, but is often seen displaying his unfiltered emotions, which could only be hailed as taunts by others. This type of personality gained him many fans, inside as well as outside the fence. Some people interpreted his open thoughts on crypto and the markets as a virtue, while others discarded them as narcissistic tendencies. But the rashness also spilled over into his business exploits really soon. Remember the PulseChain Sacrifce? Yeah, it really made a ripple in the news due to its borderline illegal nature. It was a pre-sale investment opportunity open to the general public, but it grossly violated the terms of the SEC, as selling tokens to non-accredited investors was an unspoken taboo. Even after various attempts by Robert to delegitimize the value of the sacrificed coins, the fact remained that the buyers were only interested in the coins due to potential returns, which clearly violated the laws. But that is history, and with the ongoing bearish stream of the market, it's really hard to determine the exact rate at which PulseChain would succeed. Richard might have succeeded with his Hexcoin endeavor due to its fulfilling a certain purpose of holding value and providing a blockchain certificate of deposit. That might not be the case with PulseChain due to it being a literal platform with various difficulties pertaining to usage and adoption. People in the crypto community are also worried about the release of ETH2 and the impact it would have on the PulseChain. Would it ultimately make any kind of development or economic activity on the PulseChain futile? Another problem plaguing the release of PulseChain is the lack of experienced senior developers. It's been highlighted time and time again that many developers are hesitant to accept Richard's proposition of working on his new blockchain. Sometimes just throwing in money is not really the solution to all problems, as is the case with PulseChain, with developers simply not interested in the project. Due to these issues, Richard has decided to keep the identities of the developers a secret, which in turn is acting like a double-edged sword. It has proven effective in concealing the private lives of the developer and making the work go faster, but has also maligned investors' opinions on the quality of the source code. And in matters of investing in a volatile market, an investor's trust is the most valuable asset supporting the shares of any currency. Richard has been time and time again attacked on the legitimacy of his currency, even during the time of the release of Hexcoin, which ultimately did turn out to be a huge success. At the end of the tunnel, PulseChain will prove to be a legitimate success, like the other currencies, only if it upholds itself under three standards. First, the code behind the platform. Second, product-market compatibility. And third, does it have a loyal user base? These three things will determine the success of PulseChain in its run to take the burden off of Ethereum. In conclusion, is Richard Hart really waiting out the $11,000 BTC to release PulseChain? That is not even a matter of concern for him. His current strategies put him on a very slippery slope in regards to whether his new platform will spread its wings or not. Hart might have put himself in a bind after all the things that have been happening with this project amidst the ongoing bearish market, but the PulseChain will still show signs of turning the investors' money into a bit on the profitable side.